this country as a bigger, fairer, and better for sure.
You're not from here. Where are you from?
I'm from Italy. I'm a social worker.
What's the scene in Italy?
Okay, homosexuality in Italy is not criminalized, it's legal, but we are still struggling to have it recognized and to have the right to same-sex marriage.
Okay.
And it's a big deal in Italy because the mentality is still not enough progressive to accept people.
So in Italy, it's still not as progressive, so you believe that India still has a long way to catch up?
I mean, yeah, every country has its own path to follow, but and it's step by step, it's happening.
It's happening.
And we are here now to witness this big step that is happening today. I mean, it's a glorious day for not for only for Indians. It's a glorious day for everybody. I'm so happy.
It's a glorious day for the LGBT community across the globe because each judgment is only a stepping stone ahead to ensure freedom for you, to ensure all the rights that you rightly deserve under the constitution of any land.
Absolutely, it's not only a great day for LGBT community. It's a great day for human beings.
Absolutely.
For everybody.
Human rights is what we're looking at here.
Yes, I think it's a very great opportunity for all, the community, LGBT queer community, because now people can actually express their love towards one another and not feel shy, that now that the verdict has been passed, it's a great opportunity, and, don't hide your feelings no more.
Not feeling threatened, more importantly, yeah.
Yes, there will be, but, I think it shall will pass soon.
It will pass soon. All right. Girls, what about you girls? Hello, I'm talking to you. That's all right. Okay, what about you?
Yes, I am happy. I'm overwhelmed with what we just saw and heard, and then right now it's happy. I'm sharing my happiness, and we are going there to have a bigger friends around, and then
the exciting
moment,
right.
the anxiousness, the restlessness. Everyone was just crossing their finger, and that's it. And it's a good day for law and love.
Law. Nice. It's a good day for law and love. That's a nice sign off there. A good bunch of them. Yeah, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I just experienced, the thrill inside, and it was so amazing to see, the group of people celebrating. And you're actually going to, town hall now to celebrate your success. Yeah, and
all right.
And the leader of the community, that Akai, was here with us, and it was a great opportunity, Yeah.
All right. So all of them have rushed to a town hall to celebrate this moment. Of course, it's not just for them; it's for the entire country and the LGBT community across the globe. This is definitely a progressive decision, is what they believe that India has taken. So let's hope their rights, furthermore, is also protected. It's not just about abolishing of the Section 377, or rather decriminalizing Section 377. It's also to ensure that these the LGBT community's rights are secured, that they're not violated, that their gender choices are not misused by people outside, despite Section 377 being abolished. They want the right to live, they want the right to freedom, they want the right to equality. That's what they're vying for. Let's hope the Constitution, or rather the law, amends itself to comply with the Constitution, their right to live, their right to freedom.
Thank you, Nabila, for bringing us those celebrations and the reactions from Infantry Road as well. A very pertinent point over here. A notification has to get out.
Yes. That's only to spread awareness.
Yes.
Now, what Nabila was saying is that let something more happen. And I want to correct again and say nothing more is expected. It's over. The judgment has been delivered, and these people are free now.
Yes.
Now, the issue is to spread awareness about the judgment. Now, it's possible, let's say, Shimoga, a police officer there might not know. He might have booked somebody under 377 last week, and he might say, let me do that again this week. Now, we can't do that effective this morning. So, it's necessary that the DGP be requested by our friends here to issue a circular or a notification to all of them, reminding them and spreading awareness about the judgment.
One point that I want to bring up, the example of last week's arrest in Shimoga, just in case, just as a hypothetical example. Retroactively, there has to be a...
Yes, that's a great point. Yes. If the police have recorded that this was a case of consensual intercourse, but then the police have gone ahead and slapped the FIR, then those FIRs will become suspect effective this morning, and the courts will strike down the FIR to that extent. And I think there would be a few hundred cases like that across the country, and a few hundred.
We have Twitter reactions coming in, firstly from filmmaker Karan Johar. Historic judgment, so proud today. decriminalizing homosexuality and abolishing Section 377 is a huge thumbs up for humanity and equal rights. The country gets its oxygen back.
He made them
a very
caricature. You know, the interesting thing is, in a lot of his films, like he's openly gay, but in a number of his films, he made them a laughing stock, right? I don't think anybody talks about that. If you look at many of his films, he made gay characters quite a laughing stock.
Perhaps representation may be a lot.
I actually want to say that, yeah, I see that is the opinion in general that he made the movie, I would not like to name, yeah. So he just made it a comic character, but also it can be seen as a satire of the general consensus on how, the perception, how people see gay people, like wearing pink and you know, walking like that, delicate.
So I hope he'll change in his next movies. That's what I wanted to say.
Yes, yes. But it could be taken as a satire, like a laughing thing about the opinion or the perception.
Like this new movies 3 is actually a satire on consent. And
now with Netflix and Amazon don't have to follow the censor guideline, I think there could be a flood of movies like that.
Which I don't think they do anyway, so it's only
No. What I was saying is Amazon and Netflix are not subject to our censor rules.
That's right, yes.
So they could finance movies that will explore these themes. That's what I was saying.
Absolutely.
They have done that in Euro. Like they could finance movies that explore these themes, because this one has been the underrepresented.
Right.
Like we've had films for decades together that said nothing about this, or if at all they said anything, it was more in the nature of making fun of that whole theme. So now you could have a whole new genre of entertainment courtesy these two companies that are burning cash and then want to have new and different films.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Veena.
ನಾನು ತುಂಬ ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ದಲಿತರಾಗಿರಲಿ, ಮೈನಾರಿಟೀಸ್ ಆಗಿರಲಿ, ಹಿಂದುಳಿದ ವರ್ಗದವರಾಗಿರಲಿ, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವತ್ತು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಜನವರಿ 26 ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವ ಏನಿದೆ ಆವತ್ತು ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಡೇ ಅಂತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಅವತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಈ ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಂಬರು 6ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು 2018 ಇವತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಹಿಸ್ಟಾರಿಕಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತುಂಬ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ರಿಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೋ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಕಲಿಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಅದು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಆಗಿರಲಿ, ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಆಗಲಿ, ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಆಗಿರಲಿ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಆಗಿರಲಿ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೊಂದು ಕಲಿಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಇನ್ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರಲಿ, ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರಲಿ, ನಮಗೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಮೂಲಭೂತ ಸೌಕರ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿಗಬೇಕು, ಮೂಲಭೂತ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳು ಸಿಗಬೇಕು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಸಿಗೋ ರೀತಿ ನಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ನಮಗೆ ಆದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸ ನಾವು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಜೆಂಡರ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಒಂದು ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಂದಮೇಲೆ LGBTQ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ದಲಿತ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಮೈನಾರಿಟಿ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಇದೆ, SC/ST ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ವುಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಇದೆ.
ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಒಂದು ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವೇ ಮುಂದೆ ಬನ್ನಿ.
ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇದು, ನಾನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಕಮಿಷನ್. ನಮಗೆ ಆದಂತ ನಾವು
that only if there is a reservation commission will be formed.
Well, that's a very interesting point. We'll have to discuss on that.
And also religious point of view, what will be the next gay marriages, lesbian marriages?
Certainly.
How the religion will take.
We'll talk about all this. We have to take a short break and we'll return with furthering this discussion. Stay tuned.
जब किचन में हो कुचीना
तो हर कोई बनाना चाहेगा खाना
कुचीना.
Let's do this.
Smooth as a shark, silent as a shark. Marazzo.
Welcome back. Now, in the aftermath of this historic judgment, historic ruling coming in from the Supreme Court, there are a lot of commentaries that we have to make at this point as well. Veena, prior to the break, you were calling for an LGBTQ commission to be instituted. Dhananjay, you had a reservation with that.
Yes, it would be a waste of time. It will be another bureaucratic setup. That's not required. What is required? You see, let's do away with all reservation. It's not served us well. We've gone back with reservation. So LGBTs, and you know, there's a world of difference between being a homosexual and being a transgender. Like, there's a world of difference. So I think transgender rights have to be recognized with laws, more laws. No, that's a different theme altogether. And today, you know, I think they've come in, but then let's assume for a moment that we didn't have transgenders in India. Everything that I've said, I would have still said. Were to strike down 377, all that we have said, we would have continued to say, and our courts would have still struck down 377. Okay, even if we didn't have anything like a transgender. So transgenders are an aggravated problem. So they are a different dimension altogether. But for that, we're not going to do well with setting up a commission and all of that. It's going to be a waste of time.
How would you respond to the argument that a commission helps at least in empowerment?
Well, we've seen how commissions work, and we've seen reservation is going to make things worse. Nobody improves, or most of the time, right? There could be a marginal improvement, but transgenders are not going to become better off simply because they have a commission and they have a set of rules on paper. I think they require far more, meaningful changes. Setting up a commission certainly is not one of them. And I say this because very often when you set up a commission, you assume, okay, that's exactly what you're supposed to do, and then you leave it there. So it's a commission that comes back to haunt us and tell that, look, this was supposed to be the first out of 100 steps. So in India, what happens is you only, take that one step and then you get settled down. You say, okay, fine, we have a commission. Let's see what that commission does. Let's see what the commission recommends. Everybody go to that commission, and the commission will be co-opted. Somebody will bribe a member there in that commission. All of those things will not help the transgender cause, no matter what. So what I would like to say is, for the transgender cause, let's have another debate, and then we will look at the laws that have to be changed. Okay, now which toilet are they supposed to use? No,
that's a very important.
Yes, which toilet are they supposed to use? So for that, it's a law. It's in fact a modification in the law. It's a burning topic in the United States. Okay, that's seen Trump tweet 100 times every week.
And it's an issue in schools. That
yes. So which toilet are they allowed to use? Now you see, this is a very simple question. Yet it's so confounding. So I think it's a separate issue altogether.
Absolutely. In the midst of all of this, we're getting visuals coming in from all across the country. The visuals from Chennai, some from New Delhi as well. Celebrations galore.
Okay. So yeah, but one thing that logically needs to follow is some anti-discrimination laws that we need to have. Yes. Okay, 377 is gone, but still there will be some kind of social implications that people are not offered some jobs, or they are not allowed some kind of service like hospital, medical care, or anything. So there has to be some kind of anti-discrimination laws that have to follow. Yes. That seems to be the next logical step.
Absolutely. There was another point you wanted to make, Dr. Muralidhar, the fallout. What happens next?
See, from social point of view, yes, they have got their rights. Yes, because they have fought the case and they deserve all the.
You didn't congratulate them, sir.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly congratulate them because in democratic setup.
You did.
In a democratic setup, yes, I totally empathize with the Veena Madam's problem because yes, we also come across. I'm basically from a teaching background. I'm a teacher. I'm an astrologer, and also I'm a psychologist. Have seen their problem. Yes, they have got the rights. At the same time, they also have responsibility. At this point of time, what is the social implication on this? As one of my friend was telling, as toileting, it is quite natural. Now, the law has told that it is decriminalized. There, the responsibility doesn't end. The law also have a responsibility, and these LGBT communities also have a responsibility to conduct themselves in a dignified manner where they don't demand respect, they have to command respect. Please understand, there is a lot of difference between demanding respect, demanding dignity, and commanding it. Umar bhai has something. Please go ahead, Umar
I
bhai.
have something to express.
Please, Umar.
See,
Please.
it is predominantly thought that Islam is against all of this. Actually, Islam allows one category, those are the eunuchs. Eunuchs are those who are born with the physiological difference. In the sense, they might have some traits of being a male and as well as a female. These people were called as mukhannas. And they were those people who were allowed to even pray in the masjid and allowed to be even with the women in the houses. So they come into that category. So what is predominantly disallowed according to religious perspective is the anal sex part and something which goes to an extent where man, he evolves to become a woman, or a woman evolves to become a man, or man wants to do a cross-dressing and a woman wants to do cross-dressing. So this is where, and from a very simple point of view, like we see men and we see women. Fine, I accept. A man can behave like a woman can behave like a man. That is something which is debatable. But here, there are some people who do it in a very phony way. You know, nobody, see, just like how a man can stand in a bus stand and a woman can stand in a bus stand, we accept the way they stand. But there's another category who wants to make it so very evident that they are standing. They make all the gestures. They come and intervene into your personal time, coming and knocking into your area, domain. I say, in the name of rights, don't intrude into others' rights. You have a right, okay, don't distract anybody around. I'm a man, I don't have to make a noise. She's a woman, she doesn't have to make a noise. And you are, whatever you are, transgender, you want to be yourself. Why do you want to gain all the attention?
So our religious friends want perfect transgenders. Okay. So our religious friends are saying, be transgender, it's alright, be perfect.
So I just say, don't barge into anybody's domain.
Yeah, don't intrude into others' privacy.
Don't intrude into others' privacy. See, I have seen a lot of people coming and knocking and demanding for the money and touching your body and touching your private parts.
Inappropriately issues. Inappropriately.
I say I don't want this.
All right. Manas will respond and I'll get Venus response.
If I want to stand tomorrow at the bus stop wearing this rainbow flag, I'm doing my own thing. It's a public environment. I should be allowed to do whatever I want to. If I'm distracting, no, this is the same argument that's used against rape victims also, that you invited this. No, this is not the wrong line of thought.
I think you didn't get the point, sir. What I'm trying distraction is when you come and touch and brush around, when it's not required, when I don't expect that to happen. I don't like that.
That needs consent, and we are also against it. Second point, as a community, as a sexual minority, which has been denied their identity and visibility, I think no one should say that you should keep yourself under the wraps and be perfect and just blend in. That's not going to happen.
Sure. We have reactions, more reactions coming in on Twitter. KPCC President Dinesh Gundurao has tweeted. Let's just have a quick look at the tweet. While we wait for that tweet to happen, go ahead, Manas, you were saying.
No, I was saying that, yeah, we shouldn't be expected to be under the wraps.
Right now, an historic judgment in the Supreme Court decriminalizing homosexuality and scrapping Section 377.
Well, these are failures. It's their job. The Supreme Court was forced to take up this case because they wouldn't do their job.
Yes.
And now they come forward and then...
Now that it's done, okay, let's
political statement.
Any politician...
Politically correct statement.
Any politician that will...
Let's just see, India has always moved with the times, and this is another shining
Then what were you doing in 2013?
Exactly.
It's a great moment for the LGBT community. All right, gentlemen. All right, let's finish up. Let's go through all these reactions coming in. This is a great moment for the LGBT community. We have more coming in. We have from Chetan Bhagat. Writer Chetan Bhagat, India is a country where the culture changes every 100 kilometers. Accepting diversity has to be the core value of every Indian. Frankly, it's the only way India will survive and thrive. Scrapping Section 377. That is a step in that direction. It is a good day for India. So here we have Chetan Bhagat's reaction as well. We have Ayushman Khurrana, actor Ayushman Khurrana. RIP Section 377. The new sunshine of this day is that of a progressive India. Love all. Very nice short statement right at the end over there as well. So, Veena, I want your opinion to what Umar was stating. It's basically about Space, privacy, discomfort.
Absolutely. Have your
And
space.
you said very important point, Manas. If it is not consensual.
Yeah. I mean, the law says that it has to be consensual.
It has to be consensual.
Yeah.
Veena, please go ahead and speak.
ಒಂದು ಅವರು ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದು ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ. ಇವತ್ತು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಟಾಯ್ಲೆಟ್ ವಿಷಯ ಬಂದಾಗ ಲೇಡೀಸ್ಗಿದೆ, ಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಿದೆ, ಡಿಸೇಬಲ್ಡ್ಗಿದೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಯಾರು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ, ಒಂದು ಬಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಯೂರಿನ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗ್ದೇನೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮುದಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ಕಿಡ್ನಿ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಅಡ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕಿಡ್ನಿ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಇದರಿಂದ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರು ಹೊಣೆ? ಎರಡನೇದು, ಬಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಲೇಡೀಸ್ ಸೀಟಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾ, ಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಸೀಟಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾ? ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದು, ಈಗ ಗಣ್ಯ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ವೃದ್ಧರಿಗೆ, ಅಂಗವಿಕಲರಿಗೆ, ವಿಕಲಚೇತನರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಸೀಟು ರಿಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮುದಾಯ ಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಕಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣವೇ ಲೇಡೀಸ್ ನೋಡೋ ದೃಷ್ಟಿನೇ ಬೇರೆ, ಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನೋಡೋ ದೃಷ್ಟಿನೇ ಬೇರೆ. ಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೆಕ್ಸುವಲ್ ಹರಾಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆಲಿ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸೆಕ್ಸುವಲ್ ಹರಾಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು, ಕೆಳಗೆ ಏನು, ತೆಗೆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೈ ಹಾಕೋದು, ಬ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೈ ಹಾಕೋದು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹರಾಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಯಾಣ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆಟೋ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಜನ
Would my friend advise that they wear burqa so that they can mask them?
No, that I wouldn't enforce on anybody.
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು, ಈಗ ನಾವು ಬೆಗ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋವಾಗ, ನಾವು ಕೈ ಹೊಡೆದು ಕೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋವಾಗ, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಿಂಗಂತಾರೆ, ಕೆಳಗೇನಿದೆ ಮೇಲೇನಿದೆ ಬಾ ರೂಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ? ಟೊಮೊಟೊ ಹಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಡಿತಾರೆ, ಕಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಡಿತಾರೆ, ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಪದಗಳಿಂದ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಆವಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಒಂದು ಪುರುಷರಿಗೆ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಹೊಡೆದ 10 ಪುರುಷರು ಹೋಗಿ ಗಂಡಸರು ಹೋಗಿ ಬಿಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಹೆಂಗಸಿಗೆ ಏನೋ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಆದ 10 ಹೆಂಗಸರು ಹೋಗಿ ಬಿಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವೈಲೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಮಾತಾಡೋಂಥ ಈ ಸೊಸೈಟಿಲಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಬಾಳ್ಬೇಕು? ಇವತ್ತು ಬೆಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಕೋನ ಇದೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರು, ಅವ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದವರು, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳೇನು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರಾ? ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬೆಗ್ ಮಾಡೋವಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹಣ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋ ರೀತಿಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವೈಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಮಾತಾಡಲ್ಲ.
Very true.
ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋವಾಗ ಗೂಂಡಾ ವೈಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಚಾಕು ಹಾಕ್ತಾನೆ, ಆಸಿಡ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾನೆ, ಮೈ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಡವೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಿತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, 4-5 ಜನ ಕಿಡ್ನಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ರೇಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ನೀವು ಬಂದಿರೋದೇ ತಪ್ಪಿಲ್ಲಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಬೀಟಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಬರಬಾರ್ದು, ನೀವು ಹೋಗ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು? ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಕೊಡೋದೇ ನಮಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಕೊಡೋವಾಗ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು? ನಾವು ಕೇಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಯಾವ ಅಂಡ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಲೇಡೀಸಾ ಜೆಂಟ್ಸಾ ಅಥವಾ ನಿಮ್ದು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಇದೆಯಾ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನದ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮುದಾಯದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕೋವಾಗ ವಾಪಸ್ ತಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಭಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ,
too much needs to be
ಭಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ.
We have to accept whatever your grievances are.
ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪೊಲೀಸರು ಕೆಟ್ಟವ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ.
ಬಟ್ ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಇವತ್ತು ಅವ್ರು ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ, ಸುಮ್ನಿರಿ. ಅವರು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇವತ್ತು ನೀವು
ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ನೋವು ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊತೀವಿ. ಎನೇಬಲ್ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಇವತ್ತು ಹೋಮೋಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ನಾನು ಹೋಮೋಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಜಾಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಡ, ಇದೇ ಟಿವಿ ಚಾನಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎನೇಬಲ್ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕ್ಸುವಲ್ ಹರಾಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ? ಏನಾದ್ರು ಸೆಕ್ಸುವಲ್ ಹರಾಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅದ ಅವ್ರ ಪನಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ? ಅದಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎನೇಬಲ್ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದುವಾಗ ಆ ಜಾಬುನು ಬೇಡ ನಮ್ಗೆ. ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ದಿನನಿತ್ಯ ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ.
I think we're seeing agreement across the floor.
What Dhananjay also said, that's why trans issues are slightly different from, I mean actually they are widely different from other LGB. So trans issues are way more because it's about identity. It's not something that they can act and hide and not show. It's their identity. They can't hide it. It goes with them day and night. Being gay or lesbian, I can choose somehow to not show it, like not hold my partner's hand or keep it confined to my bedroom. But that's not true for transgender people. They don't have jobs because of their identity. They don't have the respect.
Reality.
So of course their struggle is way more different, and that's what Veena has appropriately said here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have to see it in a different light. Trans issues are way more different than the remaining LGBT.
Can the ruling, today's ruling, have an implication on the concerns that she has?
Yes,
highlighted.
well, first of all, the police won't be able to slap 377 because that's our biggest weapon against transgenders. And so the police won't be able to do that. I think that comes in as a big relief. And fact of the matter is, when you start recognizing when you start recognizing homosexuals' rights, you also recognized the transgenders' woes, okay? And you can start working towards their betterment. Because what happened today is a first step in making their lives better. If not for what happened today, there's no way that these people could, hope for anything. So what happened today is like 15-20% of making their lives better. But it's like 75-80% of making lives better for homosexuals. Right? What remains now is the social attitude, which will go on for some time, but then you don't have the fear of the law. That's a big relief.
Yeah.
I have a point to make. Sure. Since they have got the equal right as a human beings, it is the responsibility of the society to respect them rather than harass them. Point number one. And in religion also, in particularly Hindu community, giving them charity, because as Veena rightly said, there are lack of opportunity for them. But in religion, in our Hindu religion, it is considered as very auspicious to help them charity, because charity is given with a noble intention. When they are not able to make their life, you may not believe, whenever we conduct a Griha Pravesha, whenever we conduct, 99% people will come, we won't interfere because it is not our job. When they come in autos or when they come by themselves and they ask for the charity, sometimes charity has to be given, they ask it, fine. Charity in Hindu culture, especially for those people who are need of the financial help, is considered very auspicious. So religion is not against them, but we want them to be responsible and conduct themselves as a citizens.
I just want to ask.
I have something to add.
One second. I can tell you my situation.
Right.
I wouldn't mind if I would see a transgender as my chief minister, honestly. I wouldn't mind at all. I would like to know from my religious friends if they, if they have a problem with that kind of a thought, a transgender becoming their chief minister. Because that will tell you what kind of place you give to them.
We have an answer in okay, Omar bhai, you can go ahead.
You're pushing me into the furnace. Okay. Let me say, in a democratic system, if the CM happens to be a transgender, I have no problem with that. I have no problem in a democratic system. Let me underline again and again.
In a democratic system, anybody has a capacity, anybody has got the effort, anybody has the creativity to become. Why only chief minister? They can even become prime minister and president.
Right. Okay, I have one thing to say.
Let me also comment. No, wait. But after becoming the prime minister or chief minister or president, what they are going to do is matter, because in democracy it is not only about the right, your responsibility and what you are going to perform.
Sure,
just because you want to show that you want to have a post, post is anybody can get, but what you perform also matters. Sure. We are in a civilized society and a democratic setup.
Yeah,
and it has stood up ultimately for the.
Sonu, you had a point to make.
What I'm saying is there are contradictory statements from what he's saying is, they're saying, okay, it's okay to make them PM and CM, but then you're talking about religion allowing to give charity. Is charity ever between equals? Like when you say it's charity, you're treating them as not equal.
Right.
Very well said. That's what I.
So in that case, you should not, encourage such kind of a culture where you start giving them. Let them be treated as equals.
Let them create opportunity.
See, my opinion is from many years that has been considered auspicious. That was my point. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it is affecting their. Dignity, then asking help from the government is also against the dignity. Why did you go to the government then? It is your personal thing. LGBT is a personal thing. Why do you want it to be legalized?
Right.
That means, do you consider yourself as inferior in the society?
It was just the law.
So there we have it. While the celebration is happening.
You're doing the same
These
moves
are
again
live
and
visuals
again.
coming
You
in
have
from
different
town
moves,
hall.
is it?
No, they're just
This is from in
replays.
front of town hall.
This is town hall, yeah.
People are tired of these moves. They don't have different moves, is it? In the sense, like they don't have different dance moves around.
Well, I guess with that kind of rhythm, there's not much to do.
They are not dancing.
They don't care about the steps
Yeah, exactly.
right now.
They don't know what it's.
Steps don't matter anymore.
I said in a light heart.
Of course. But again,
We are going to go there and do some other stuff.
yeah. Well, change the beat a little bit, maybe. Ramp it up. That's
We're going to
it's a day of celebration, and probably not just a day. It's a lifetime of celebration.
It's a great day for human rights in India.
It is a great day for human rights.
It's a great day for human rights in India, and I think this is very promising. And this was awaited for a very long time. And I think whoever takes human rights seriously, the laws seriously, equality seriously, will have to welcome this judgment.
Certainly.
And I feel very hopeful and very excited for the younger generation that's going to follow the millions of teens who, I mean, we just talk about the victims of suicide, but what about the teens who have grown up feeling underconfident and have had a negative impact on their personalities. So all that will stop happening. So I'm very positive and very happy for the generations to come who will not feel suppressed, oppressed or abnormal in any sense. They will just feel equal.
That whole distinction of normal and abnormal. More reactions coming.
तो वो गैर कानूनी 370 के अंतर्गत नहीं माना जाएगा और कोर्ट ने ये कहा है कि LGBTQI कम्युनिटी की पूरे हक हैं। संविधान में धारा 14 जो समानता के ऊपर है, भेदभाव के खिलाफ है, डिग्निटी के ऊपर है, लिबर्टी के ऊपर है, धारा 21, धारा 19 फ्रीडम्स हैं और ये जो बुनियादी हक है उनके आधार पे ये फैसला दिया गया है और आगे भी जो कोई विषय आएंगी वो इसी आधार पे ही दी जाएंगी।
क्या इस तरह के समुदायों के बीच शादी के रिलेशन आगे बन पाएंगे?
वो मांग होगी, लेकिन उसके लिए कानून में परिवर्तन करना पड़ेगा। अगर उसकी चुनौती होती है तो हमें मालूम है किस आधार पे सर्वोच्च न्यायालय चलेगा।
तो जस्टिस नरीमन ने ये भी कहा है कि इसको सोशल मीडिया पर वाइड
इसको आपके द्वारा पूरे देश में कोने कोने में ये फैलाना पड़ेगा कि आज के फैसले में क्या दिया गया है। और मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूं कि 18 साल की ये जो जंग चल रहा था, जो ये संघर्ष चल रहा था, उसमें मीडिया का बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण योगदान है। मीडिया के बिना हम ये फैसला आज इधर नहीं ले आ सकते थे। तो मैं आपको धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ, आपका मैं बहुत ही आभारी हूँ। मेरे को मालूम है मीडिया ने इसमें क्या हाथ दिया है। लोगों के जो दिमाग में जो भी विषय थे, जो भी कल्पना थी, उसको मीडिया ने बहुत ही योगदान दिया उसका परिवर्तन के लिए। तो उसके लिए मैं बहुत ही आभारी हूँ। शुक्रिया, धन्यवाद।
Big news coming in. History owes an apology to LGBT persons for ostracization and discrimination. This is what Justice Indu Malhotra said. LGBT community entitled to equal citizenship. From Justice Chandrachud. So we have these statements coming in. Equal rights under the Constitution. That is what the LGBT community has been entitled to all this while. This is what Justice D.Y. Chandrachud has said. And Justice Indu Malhotra as well. A statement. An apology is owed to LGBT persons for ostracization, for discrimination. So each judge is reading out what they're saying in this as well. So certainly this was known. This was known that this would be a concurrence. There would be a lot of commonalities between the 5 judges. So certainly one can imagine it's a welcome set of statements.
Yeah. As we sit here, I'm getting all kinds of compliments, and I mean, I am getting messages of congratulations from my family, from my colleagues, friends. Everyone is just like
family. So this is going to be a huge part of this.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Do coffee or tea?
So certainly, from a familial perspective, before we get on to that, the judgment is to be considered in all pending prosecutions. So all pending prosecutions, that was a question that we had a little earlier as well. So retroactively, any cases that are filed in, we're going to have this judgment considered. Yes.
संवैधानिक है, गैर संवैधानिक है अगर दो जन जो एडल्ट्स हों, जो बच्चे ना हो, जो 18 साल के ऊपर हो, वो स्वीकृति से यौन संबंध करें, किसी भी तरह का यौन संबंध करे, वो नहीं है। मगर अगर कैसे भी करे, किसी तरह में भी करे, तो उसको गैर कानूनी नहीं माना जाएगा, क्योंकि ये जो प्राइवेट मैटर है, गोपनीयता जिसमें होती है, वो इस फैसले में राज्य सत्ता को हस्तक्षेप करना कोई हक नहीं है। और the Supreme Court has actually based its verdict on Articles 14, equality and discrimination, Article 19, freedoms, Article 15, also discrimination, Article 21, privacy. सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने ये कहा है कि ये जो फैसला है, ये बुनियादी हक के आधार पे है, धारा 14 और 15 जो भेदभाव और समानता के ऊपर है, जो धारा 19 है जो फ्रीडम्स के बारे में है, और धारा 21 जिसमें डिग्निटी और प्रिवेसी माना जाता है। और उन्होंने ये भी कहा है कि ये जो फैसला हम दे रहे हैं वो सबके हक के लिए है और LGBTQI कम्युनिटीज को पूरे हक हासिल करने चाहिए और इस फैसले के बारे में पूरा प्रकाशन करना चाहिए, इसकी पूरी पब्लिसिटी कोने कोने में देश में करनी चाहिए। हाँ, एक मिनट, द सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज एक्चुअली मेड इट क्लियर दैट दिस decision is on the basis of Articles 14, 15, 19 and 21. 14 is about equality and non-discrimination, as is 15. 19 is about freedoms and 21 is about privacy and dignity. And they have said that this basis will rule other decisions also, in the sense that this is the paradigm the society should follow. No LGBTQI person can be denied all these rights. They are entitled to all these rights. They haven't decided about marriage, but that issue will come up in the future, and if it does, the Supreme Court has indicated what sort of principles it shall follow. Yes. The Justice Nariman has actually made it clear that this should be publicized in every nook and corner of society in India, and all government officers should be sensitized. So that's a very important. Justice Nariman ने ये भी आदेश दिया है कि ये जो फैसला है इसका प्रकाशन होना चाहिए सब जगह पे भारत में, जहीं भी कर सकते हैं, आप भी करेंगे, मगर उसके साथ ही साथ ये भी आदेश दिया है कि सरकारी अफसर हैं उनको भी इसके बारे में बताना चाहिए और उनको भी इसके बारे में सेंसिटाइज करना चाहिए। नहीं, आज से ये कन्विक्शन नहीं हो सकेगी बनिस्बत वो स्वीकृति से हो, और वो अगर एडल्ट्स है, जवान लोग हैं, तो स्वीकृति से हो तो नहीं कोई कन्विक्शन होगी। जानवर के बारे में उन्होंने बोला ये कानून गैर संवैधानिक नहीं है। So they have held that bestiality is still applicable law. Thank you.
So just to repeat in few words what the Supreme Court Advocate Anand Grover said, that this is a law that is speaking specifically about a consent between two adults, and that is what it's dealing with. That is the primary premise. That was the point that was contested for several years as well. So a confirmation of that fact.
See, you get consensus only when you are clear. Just like religion is a choice, even sexual identity is also a choice.
Excuse me, it's not a choice. It's not a choice. It comes very naturally to us and it's congenital.
That statement itself is incorrect. Yes. Sexual identity, gender identity, sexual orientation is not a choice. So
it's what we're born with.
People are born with that. Science is still looking into it, whether it's genetic or it's behavioral, but it's not something people can control.
Yes. And so ask us. We have tried hard to.
No, we don't. I mean,
but remember,
I want your perspective as a psychologist here.
See, I am also from psychology point of view, and I am also a teacher. Many students come and express because mother is the best teacher or the best psychologist. Okay. Apart from that, they come and express with teachers because they fear about their identity, what the people will think. Because sex, the topic sex itself is very sensitive and a complicated subject. Yes, we cannot just discuss on a platform. Yes. It is purely personal. People may say anything outside to get the appreciation or to get the acceptability in the society, or they may have a different opinion altogether inside.
Well, I have a series of questions for you. I go across live to Town Hall right now, where Nabila is joining us. Nabila, the celebrations must be quite something there. Go ahead and walk us through. Nabila, if you can hear me. Nabila, walk us through the celebrations at Town Hall.
Okay.
Not able to hear, I
Town Hall, a good number of them moved from the alternative forum there. Alternative Law Forum from Infantry Road all the way till Town Hall, where they've all come together in a bit to celebrate. Let's find out from them what's your excitement like.
Hi, we are so happy. Thank you so much for the Indian government to accept us. We are not criminals. My body, my rights. Thank you so much.
We are How many years did you suffer, and what was your...
We have suffered 157 years to fight to win this war. We are so happy to the Indian Judiciary Supreme Court. We are so thankful because finally they have recognized our transgenders' rights and LGBT community rights.
Right. What about you?
I am big happy. happy. ನನಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಖುಷಿ ಆಯಿತು. ನಾವು ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಆದ ಒಂದು ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳಿದೆ. ಹಾಕು ನಮಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಇವತ್ತು ಏನು ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಈ ಮಹತ್ವವಾದ ತೀರ್ಪು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಸದಾ ಚಿರಋಣಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟ್ರಗಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ತೆರೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿದೆ. ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್, ಇದು ಲೀಗಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತೀರ್ಪು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಏನೋ ಒಂಥರ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಸಿಕ್ತಂಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ನಿಜವಾದ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಇವತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ.
That's a good message sent out by them, that they finally getting to taste freedom that India has always speaking of democracy, they finally feel democracy is what they say. It's Independence Day for us today. That's a good one. Right. What about you?
ಅಯ್ಯೋ ತುಂಬ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ನಾವು ಕಷ್ಟ ಬಿದ್ದು ಇಷ್ಟು ರ್ಯಾಲಿಗಳು ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ಗಳು ಮಾಡಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೂ ಇವತ್ತು ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಇವತ್ತೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವ ಹೋದ್ರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಈಗ ಜೀವನ ಶುರು ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ,
ಇವಾಗ ಅಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಜೀವ ನಂದು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಭೂಮಿ ಭಾಗ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇವತ್ತೇ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಹೋದ್ರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನನ್ನ ಸಮುದಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ.
Love was between a man and a woman. It is no more a distinct taboo that loving a man and man.
It's no more love only between a man and a woman. Love can be of any form, of any kind.
Love definition was between a man and a woman. It was a heterosexual dominant society. Now we are liberated. I am very much happy.
ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರ ಜನರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋರಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಬದುಕಬಹುದು ಅಂತ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಗೂ ಸಮಾನತೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಅಂತ 20 ವರ್ಷದ ಹೋರಾಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರಂತ ಇದ್ದು ತುಂಬಾ ಸಂತೋಷ. ಈ ಸಮುದಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಗಲಿ.
ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋರಾಟಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಪ್ರತಿಫಲ ಸಿಕ್ಕೈತೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಂತಿದ್ವಿ. 377 ತೆಗೆದಿದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ಜೀವನ. ಇವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಡೇ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ.
Independence Day is today. All right. This is definitely a landmark judgment by the Supreme Court. A long wait. Literally criminalizing people with same-sex people who had had physical involvement with each other of the same sex was criminalized so far, and now finally it has been abolished. It has the Supreme Court has done away with Section 377. Nonetheless, a lot of apprehensions on if at all these the LGBT community people will still have their rights. But rather, will their rights or interests be protected by law? That is the worry that they have. But that aside, they are welcoming this judgment with open arms, with absolute excitement and much joy. This is the group here. Try and have a word. Okay, there's a lot of photo ops happening right now, but guys, a little more cheer. Why don't you okay, actually a lot of them why don't you come this side? Come Okay, busy people. They have all the attention here today. I don't want to disturb them, but this is what's the excitement like here at Town Hall. All of them are opening their arms wide for the verdict. They did welcome it then. They've come all the way from the Alternative Law Forum to Town Hall. They're dancing here, celebrating with much pomp and fervor, just to show how happy they are and that today is actual Independence Day for them. Today is actual day of freedom. If I can ask my camera to actually pan and get some glimpses of the celebration, I think what we're watching is better than what we hear. My body, my rights. That's the slogan that all of them here are singing.
Supreme Court, Zindabad! Supreme Court, Zindabad!
Hey!
Jai Bhim! Jai Bhim! Jai Bhim! Jai Bhim!
How happy? We are happy to say that we are not criminals. And we thank Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar for this lovely constitution. When the fascist authority is ruling country, we are very happy to say that we had a hope on Supreme Court. They made it real. They made our dreams into real. We are great. We would like to thank Supreme Court and the Chief Justice of 5 judges.
How long have you waited? How many years?
Actually, first the case was filed on 1991 by AIDS Bhedabhav. First the file was cased on 1991 by the name of AIDS Bhedabhav Nirmulan Samiti. After that, we went for the NAS Foundation went for Supreme Court in 2003. When the Supreme Court, Delhi High Court, they denied to take a case. Again, we filed a petition in Supreme Court. Supreme Court directed this Delhi High Court to hear the case. After that, in 2009, the Delhi High Court, they gave a historical judgment. But the sad part is, same Supreme Court, they criminalized this 377 again. And we not lost our hope, and we are still fighting, and we are going to fight more. And the judgment.
Going to fight more. When you say we're going to fight more, what more are you going to fight for this time?
Actually, this is not a full stop. This is the innings started now. Okay. Because it is a way for us to go forward. The door is open now. We have to travel little more to achieve our goal.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to continue seeing you celebrate. This is an exciting moment. Let me see if I can go over to a few more of them who haven't. Hi guys. Would you like to speak?
Sure.
What's your excitement like? Please come together. Yeah.
We're all happy because this is a monumental decision, and I'm pretty sure more good will follow soon.
What more good are you looking for?
Okay, for time being this is okay, but in general, I mean there's still a lot of work to do. Just because the law is changed, people's homophobic attitude has to change, and it's really like people's mindset should change. That's what we think.
People's mindset should change.
Yeah.
Okay. What? Okay. That's a good one. People's mindset should change.
Yeah, I feel the fight has just started and a lot more to go. I don't know how it felt the midnight of the 1947 15th August, but it feels brilliant to us. I'm so excited that we are no more criminals. We were made criminals just based on a sexuality and a sexual preference, and we're no more criminals, and it feels great. It's brilliant.
You know that you're no more criminals.
Yes.
All right. How do you say that people have misused that tool of Section 377? Have you been witness to something like that may have happened?
Yeah, sort of. Be it in the workplace, or a lot of activists were arrested on the wrong charges, and a lot of guys, homosexuals, are arrested on the wrong charges. We were humiliated in the workplaces, and this bringing the legality to
this Section 377 as a tool to discriminate sexuality. It doesn't even talk about sexuality in the first place. So that's what, Naveen, you agree, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so it was great. I'm excited.
Long awaited for all of you. Let me go over to them. What's your excitement?
My excitement is like really we reached the goal. It is a 157 years fight, which is people are against the immoral thinking, which is the people are non-acceptable in the society by the name of the same gender sex illegal. Today it's a legally we reached it out. Thanks for Supreme Court verdict. Thanks for the 5 benches. The Honorable Chief Justice. Thank you.
A big thank you, a big shout out to the Supreme Court from the LGBT community who are ecstatic to know that there are no more criminals. This is definitely a welcome judgment, and what they've been awaiting for years now. A colonial rule has finally been abolished, is what they believe. Over to you, Nikhil. Celebrations continue here at Town Hall for a little longer.
Thank you, Nabila, for bringing us those celebrations, and it's an atmosphere of revelry at Town Hall. We'll take a quick break and return with the top stories of the day. Stay tuned.
हमारी त्वचा में करोड़ों सूक्ष्म छिद्र होते हैं। जब हम केवल केमिकल से बने साबुन एंड क्रीम आदि लगाते हैं तो ये खतरनाक केमिकल्स हमारी स्किन में एब्जॉर्ब हो जाते हैं। इसलिए पतंजलि ने लगभग 85% प्राकृतिक तत्वों एलोवेरा, नीम, हल्दी, चंदन आदि जड़ी बूटियों से एलोवेरा, हल्दी, चंदन, नीम, मुल्तानी मिट्टी, मोगरा एवं मिंट तुलसी, हनी रोज आदि नेचुरल बाथ सोप्स तैयार किए हैं।
सारे BHK, बंगलोज, विलास, फ्लैट्स हटके, जिसकी जैसी चॉइस सबकी मिलेगी चॉइस।
जहाँ पर किधर है? तो ऊपर गए। क्यों पेड़ पे चढ़ के बन रहे हो चिंपैंजी?
पता नहीं कब आएगी ये बस।
बस तो यहाँ है।
कहाँ?
पेड़ से डाउनलोडिंग होने वाला किंग नहीं, रेड बस ऐप जो डाउनलोडिंग, वही असली राजा हुई। इसका ट्रैक माई बस फीचर लाइव ट्रैक करे आपकी बस को और बताए एग्जैक्ट टाइम ऑफ अराइवल। बस यानी
program is co-sponsored by
Peace of mind comes standard with a Skoda. Skoda, simply clever.
It's a big win for the LGBT community. Supreme Court upholds gay rights, scraps IPC Section 377. CGI, along with 4 other judges, pronounced judgment. Chief Justice of India Deepak Mishra says he is what he is and one should be accepted the way one wants to be. PWD Minister H.D. Devana seen speaking on the phone while state anthem was being sung at an event in Ramnagara. Tussle between Jarkeholi brothers and Lakshmi Hebbalkar takes another twist. BJP leaders Prabhakar Kore and Ramesh Katti reportedly support Lakshmi Hebbalkar in her tussle. Dog menace continues in the state. Stray dogs attack children and parents in Rajaji Nagar 6 block. Victims being treated at a private hospital. A little over an hour and a half ago, a monumental, a historic judgment came from the Supreme Court. Section 377 in its current form has been scrapped. 2 consenting adults, it's not going to be a criminal act anymore if they would like to participate in any activity of a sexual nature. They do not have to face the arm of the law in this particular instance. And that itself is a historic judgment that has come out of the Supreme Court as well. Now, just understanding what the Supreme Court has said, to summarize all of the statements that have been made from the 5-judge bench, starting with the point that the LGBT community has the same rights as of any ordinary citizen. Gays, lesbians, bisexual and transgender have equal rights as other citizens. This is what they've stated. They cannot be pushed into obscurity by an oppressive colonial legislation. This case is much more than just decriminalizing a provision. The Supreme Court has scrapped this section completely and stated that all of these archaic laws are irrational and indefensible. And the primary objective of having a constitutional society is to transform the society progressively. Constitutional provisions should not be interpreted in the literal sense. Sex with animals, bestiality, that was spoken about, that will however remain a crime. So that wasn't the point of contention in the first place. The point of contention was the fact that 2 consenting adults were not being allowed to participate in a sexual activity. That was what was the main part of Section 377 that came under a lot of deliberation, and over time as well, there has been so much going on in India as well, that while this is a moment of celebration as well, there have been situations where ostracizing and atrocities have been committed against members of the LGBT community. So one must take moments to consider all of this, to remember all of this, and also hope that this is the end of all of that as well, isn't that?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, that's a really good point, what you just mentioned. And this also gives us, like, people who are open and out and who have a support system, we know now that we can go ahead and offer support to people who are looking for it now, because there is no 377, there is no, there's nothing for them to fear. So we extend our hand of support to people who are looking for help.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is another series of issues that we need to talk about. Is a very important point that you brought up, Dr. Murli, the point of sex education, which you responded, sex education for society, for understanding, for acceptance, for
creating awareness.
Creating awareness.
To
Families,
respect the differences, you know.
Yes.
As human beings, we have differences of opinion or differences of living or differences in lifestyle. But sex education, or the word sex itself, is a very sensitive and a complicated subject.
Yes.
Like psychology is subjective. We have to educate the society from the childhood or even from the school level to respect the individual's identity. See, some people may say that the identity or sexual identity is not by choice, it is by genes or it is by natural. But many a time that is programmed by the influence of the peers once, and second, people get into it for two. What I have observed is, one, due to the lack of opportunities for them to move freely with the opposite sex, or second, their orientation is not been programmed or they not been guided properly, because it is the duty of the parents or the teachers to guide the younger generation and take their life. See, at the end of the day, it is your responsibility to lead your life. But just because you have got a right, that doesn't mean that you can harass. Harassment in any form on anybody is not proper, and no religion and no law tolerates it.
And that is a point that is widely agreed across the floor as
377 has been
Consent
removed.
is important.
But as a teacher and a psychologist, what I have come across in my 12 or 14 years of research is, many people have confessed and telling with pain and also with respectful regards to them that they were forced. See, I am not against anybody. Every section has good and bad people. Some people, just to satisfy their needs, they either seduce them, they either tempt them in using various platforms. It could be ragging, or it could be doing some kind of favor and expecting something. See, these things were happening between the four walls. Now, what next? You cannot force someone just to satisfy your needs. See, if it is a natural and it is between the limits of decency and privacy, they need not take anybody's permission, because it's purely a personal. But when it comes to the public or a social issue, my opinion is this: you are no more a second-class citizen. You have got the right. At the same time, you also got responsibility. And what about the next generation? We are concerned about generation, because India is a land which gave Kama Sutra to the whole world through Vatsayana. And one more thing, Khajuraho temple. In temples also, they were the places of sexual education. Why sexual education is necessary means to know who you are. For example, with permission from our Honorable Home Minister and DCM, Dr. Parameshwar. His son became a daughter. From he has become she, and he is living out of the country. What if he comes back? How will the society, for example, how will he face his own people? This is a big question mark, which the individual has to answer, because it's subjective.
Well, it's something that society will also have to work on accepting as well. We have some reactions, while we're seeing celebrations all around as well. We have reactions. I have a reaction from Keshav Suri, who is from the Lalit group of hotels. These are the petitioners. Petitioners are, of course, celebrating all around as well. Many members of the petitioners, the families of the petitioners are also there as well in some instances. We have the executive director of the Lalit group of hotels, Keshav Suri. Yeah, Keshav Suri has a reaction. Let's listen in.
All the the lawyers and the judges that have worked on this. I think those are the people that need to be interviewed. I'm a nobody. Those are the ones that need to be thanked.
But this is a time to celebrate.
It is a massive time to celebrate. See you all at Kitty Zoo tonight.
Yes.
At the Lalit, New Delhi, Bombay, and Bangalore.
Yeah, there is a big party.
So we're back to, these are live celebrations, in fact. Live, we see the champagne being popped, the cake being cut as well. So certainly, one of a large number of petitioners, Keshav Suri from, he's a hotelier, and he was in the forefront of this whole movement as well. Yeah, so these are live visuals coming in, and well, there we have it.
Delicious. Everybody should get a glass. Wait, 1 minute. Thank you. The real stars of this have actually been the lawyers. So I got to say Menika, Arundhati, Saurabh Kirpal, Mr. Mukul Rohde.
So celebrations galore in the national capital as well. It's certainly a big moment. It is a big moment for India. It is a big moment.
Please stay money on your desk and let them eat cake. Let them eat cake. Thank you.
So there we have it, the celebrations. These are the team of lawyers who fought the case, and they're posing for a photograph after the Supreme Court verdict. It is, of course, a time of celebration for all of them as well. Menka Guruswamy and Arundhati Kaju are among the advocates who fought for decriminalizing gay sex and scrapping Section 377. That is the team of doctors, team of lawyers, I beg your pardon. Filled with a little bit of excitement myself. We have a reaction from Shashi Tharoor. Let's listen in.
Judgment. I think it was the right judgment to make. I feel particularly satisfied with the fact that the court rightly, as I myself advocated when I raised this issue a few years ago, rightly sees this not as an issue of sex, but as an issue of constitutional freedom. The Supreme Court has upheld the values of equality, which should apply to all communities in our country, of dignity, and of privacy. And privacy is particularly interesting here because last year we had the landmark right to privacy judgment. And what this government has failed to recognize in its previous positions is that the government should have no place in the bedroom. And the right to privacy has made that clear, that what consenting adults do in their own homes in private is their business and not that of the government's. And because it is not the government's business, they cannot criminalize activity that has nothing to do with the government's role. Finally, I would stress that if you look at the way in which the Supreme Court has historically expanded freedoms in our society, women's rights, for example, have very much expanded because of a series of Supreme Court judgments interpreting our laws in a constructive way. This is a very good indication of how the Supreme Court can treat the Constitution as a living document and reinterpret it in the light of the actual developments in society and the way in which people's thinking is evolving. To my mind, we've seen a very, very successful and welcome judgment. Thank you.
So that was a statement from Shashi Tharoor. Remind our viewers that in 2015 he had himself brought a private member's bill which was not given much of a look-see. We'll be slipping into a short break. On the other side of this break, we'll be bringing you live visuals from Town Hall as well. Nabila, my colleague, is there following the celebrations. Stay tuned.
Products are an essential part of my home and my interior projects. The new range of colors by Kohler completely fits my colorful personality.
Jumping over mountains, diving into oceans and saving the world. That is not action. Action is scaling new heights, lighting up the world. and discovering new battlefields. Space, style, power. Honda WRV, the heart of action.
राजू भाई खाने में क्या है? टिंडे की सब्जी। टिंडे? चोर नहीं है क्या? एक बार फ्रिज में चेक करो ना। खुद देख लो। टिंडे? चलेगा। चलेगा।
भैया और मिलेगा क्या? टिंडे।
Food tastes better with Kingfisher, the king of good times.
जैसी choice सबकी मिलेगी choice. मकान या बिल्डिंग ऑफिस सबकी मिलेगी choice. 1, 2, 3, 4 सारे BHK bungalows, villas, flats, हटके. जिसकी जैसी choice सबकी मिलेगी choice.
So there we have it, visuals coming in from Town Hall, and the celebrations are continuing, and I know our guests are itching to head on over there. We'll let you go soon, don't worry about that, but it's certainly a time of celebration for India. It is a time of celebration for human rights and human rights values being upheld over here as well. So certainly it is a huge deal as far as India is concerned. These are visuals coming in from Town Hall. Nabila joins me from Town Hall. Nabila, the celebrations, one can imagine, will be quite endless for this after this verdict came out.
Absolutely, Nikhil. Celebrations are endless. Right? Okay, there you go. You see a bunch of balloons there. That's the kind of excitement. They already feel like. Actually, all of the LGBT community here feels like helium balloons. They're like flying up in the air. That's quite exciting for all of them here. They're holding it. Let's find out from them. Kumar, what's your scene? Tell me. How excited and happy are you?
We're very, very, very happy and super excited. So, we're very excited, we're very happy, it's jubilant. You can see we're all so happy, as colorful as we are, out and proud, out and loud. And we're very happy about the verdict being in our favor.
Okay, tell me what was the struggle for you for so many years?
24 years of long struggle since 1994. And, the Supreme Court had previously supremely let us down. And now finally, we find, justice delayed but not denied. We're very happy about it. The one thing that the Supreme Court did today was the good thing is the Supreme Court pushed back Section 377 has gone back into the closet.
That's absolutely fantastic. You let go of all of those balloons. What is the symbolic message you're trying to give out?
We are free. We are free and we are not criminals in front of the law.
We're not criminals, okay?
ನಾವು ಕಾನೂನಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 21, 15 ಮತ್ತೆ 19 ಮತ್ತೆ 14 ಇದೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ನಮಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಸಮಾನವಾದಂಥ ಹಕ್ಕು ಇವತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಖುಷಿ ಇದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಏನು ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಬರೆದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಇದೆ. Thank you.
All right. Ma'am, you're an advocate. She's been fighting for the cause for quite some time. We see them liberated today. Like, it's a feeling like no other. The happiness on their eyes, face, whatnot. A lot of them crying, weeping that we've lost a lot of the people from the LGBT community to the Section 377. 24 years of struggle finally has come to an end. Do you believe this is an end, or this is just a beginning of a larger fight?
This is certainly not the end. It is the beginning of a large fight for more rights and for more civil protections and rights. I think this is a validation that Section 377 was criminalizing a large community and that had to go. And the Supreme Court, actually, Justice Indu Malhotra said that, history owes an apology to the community for such criminalization. Right. And it's just the beginning of recognition of their rights.
Well, when you say history owes an apology, what do you think, even though implicating somebody under Section 377 was uncommon, it wasn't so common, but we saw many people in authority, mainly police, using that as a tool to harass and whatnot. So What do you say of that? Not many of them were really implicated under Section 370.
It doesn't matter that people were arrested, implicated or not. The threat of arrest, the threat of criminalization was always there, whether you committed a crime or not. And that is what 377 did. It criminalized a whole community for no fault of theirs. And by decriminalizing any kind of voluntary, sexual relationships between consenting adults, I think at least this shroud of criminality has gone. And that is important.
That's amazing. All right. I think now you have time to talk, and this mind space, this girl's been escaping my eye for quite some time.
Sorry.
Why didn't you tell me? What's your excitement like today?
The most important thing for us today was the fact that Indu Malhotra started off by saying that history owes an apology to the communities and the families who had to wait this long for justice. I think that is the most powerful thing that the Supreme Court could have possibly said. Right now, we're really excited about the fact that the court has also very categorically said that the police requires a lot of sensitization. This judgment is going to apply to all pending prosecutions under Section 377. That is something that is absolutely important for us right now. What's also important at the same time while we're celebrating this judgment is the fact that the court has listed the matter of the arrests of 5 activists and advocates who were arrested last week in connection to Bhima Koregaon. That is going to be heard soon, and we will be watching that as well. We also take this moment to remember 2 of our most beloved members of the community who were here all through the struggle, who couldn't be standing here today, Priya Tangaraja and Famila, who inspired all of us youngsters who never had the chance to even meet them. So we really do remember and recognize their contribution for inspiring us. And we are just waiting to read that judgment right now.
There was somebody who said that even though Section 377 is now abolished, there is a fear of, there is still this fear looming large of whether or not the LGBT community will be entirely accepted. And even if this law is not there, there is no inclusion, there is no equality as yet. So it is a larger and a much bigger struggle.
Definitely, and the court does recognize that. They say very categorically that Section 377 has been read down. So even if I look at an IPC today, I will still see Section 377 on the text. So the court has very categorically mentioned that the media plays an important role in sensitization, in breaking stigma, and at the same time a lot of onus has been put on the Union of India to start coming out with progressive and inclusive programs and taking a lot of action in that sense. So it's not just a one-way street where you get a judgment and then suddenly all our dreams come true. No, we're also looking at the start of an awful lot of work in terms of family rights, in terms of marriage, in terms of maintenance, and in terms of protection from domestic violence, intimate partner violence. We're looking at a lot of work that needs to go into
marriage. Are you also going to be fighting for same-sex marriage to be legalized?
Obviously, we need it written down in black and white, because right now I can argue that in court because of this interpretation I can definitely get married, but I'd like to see that in the law.
And many other countries, as open as they are, still do not have marriage legalized, like UK.
Yes. So we're actually trying to see what we need to do now. So after we move out from here, we will definitely be sitting together, brainstorming, making a list of things that we have to work on as a priority.
Yeah, I was just asking, what's the LGBT community in Bengaluru, Karnataka, going to be up to for the next few days? What's your agenda?
I think celebration being the first one. Second, definitely tearing apart that judgment, reading it word by word to make sure exactly what rights we have been given, to see how important this judgment really is for jurisprudence and law in this country. And we'll definitely be taking from this judgment and seeing what we can do in terms of advocacy, research, and of course coming on the streets and advocating for our rights.
I have to ask you to give out a message to all of those who are still in the closet. Very honestly, who are still in the closet, who are possibly joyous watching this judgment, but secretly in their rooms, but still aren't able to face their family or the society.
Well, the law doesn't criminalize you anymore, so there is nothing that the law could possibly do. But at the same time, everybody has a right to choose when they want to come out and when they would like to identify themselves, how they would like to identify themselves. So I would say it's entirely up to you now.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a good time. Well, this is the LGBT community here in Town Hall. Celebrations galore going on. They've just let off a good number of balloons up in the air. Excited? What's this? Can I see a small dance from you?
No, it's about a LGBT rainbow movement, which is hiding from the society. Today we are opening it.
Nice. That's a rainbow movement. So cute. Love it. Love the colors. Love the excitement. I mean, more importantly, love the fact that somebody else feels free. In a country like India, where we always spoke of freedom and independence and whatnot, and we boast of our rights to the rest of the world, the LGBT community was always reeling under this one law of Section 377. The abolishment of Section 377 has really got a new lease of life, a new breath of fresh air, or maybe a lot more than that for the LGBT community. Rather, their right to live in peace and live free and live loud. That's the rights they've been given now, and the Constitution has protected their rights. So that's why someone said thank you to Ambedkar for having a constitution, for coming up with a constitution like ours, which has allowed the court to make a judgment in humanity's favor. That's their belief. A quick sign off from you. What do you want to say?
Okay, almost ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ತೀರ್ಪನ್ನು ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗದ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇತ್ತು ಆ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ. ಖಂಡಿತ ಆ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ನಾವು ತುಂಬಾ ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಬರೆದಂತ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಇವತ್ತು ಘನತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಗೌರವನ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಸಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಇದೆ.
Okay, a quick glimpse at the celebration. A lot of Ramdewalas there joining us. Let me find out from this lady who's been fighting for quite some time now. I saw you crying, weeping when the judgment came out. What happened?
I was overwhelmed. I've been in this struggle for the last 20 years, and I have known how many people have sacrificed their lives for this. So I just remembered all my friends who wanted to see this day, and they're not here. But then I know they're all around me, will be around me. My dear Famila, Tangaraja, so many people.
You were weeping incessantly. And you said you've lost a lot of people to Section 377. What do you mean by that?
We lost lives of people who could not bear the kind of atrocities that this society, this government, the state agencies have meted out on people, on this community, on queer and trans. My very close friend Kamila had to commit suicide because of the pressure of the society that she couldn't live. And I clearly remember once we both were drunk, and then the one thing that she spoke and sobbed about was that if this country did not have 377, we wouldn't have been in this position. So I just couldn't help remember all my friends who worked incessantly to this.
Today, it is a taste of freedom for you finally in independent India, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and it is because of Ambedkar. If he had not brought this kind of a constitution, we would have remained criminals. He is a visionary, a person who could foresee how to be inclusive, which the society doesn't know. I tell you, India's future lies in Ambedkarite movement. That's it. Jai Bhim.
All right, thank you so much. Well, this is a moment of joy. I think I have no more words to express it. What I saw here by my own eyes, looking at the LGBT community celebrate, and what they've told me personally about instances of a good number of them who've actually lost their lives owing to Section 377 and the harassment that was meted out by their own families, be it the cops, lawmakers, whatnot, and people and lay people, just anybody who have looked down upon the LGBT community, not given them a place in the society, not given them equal opportunities and whatnot. Even though they say that this is freedom has started for them now, it's still an uphill task for them to actually make their place within the society, which has such a conservative mindset. Will they be able to make their space is a question, but their fight is relentless. Like they said, this is the beginning. Starting from here, sensitization programs will continue all across at least Bengaluru, at least, of course, all of India too. The same movement is gaining momentum. So the first things first is to sensitize the police, and then sensitize the society at large. So a lot of programs will be conducted to ensure that the public and people at large, our society, our neighbors, our families, everyone that we live around is in the know of what gender rights is all about, and they also a little worried about gender protection not being really established within the law. So that's another thing that they're going to sort of come together as the community and see if their rights and their gender rights, more importantly, will be protected. So a joyous moment to all of them here. Nikhil, over to you.
Right. Thank you, Nabila, for bringing us this update from Town Hall over here. We are coming close to the conclusion of this discussion, but I must state that this is the conclusion of the discussion here in the studio. It is a beginning. It is a nationwide discussion that has just begun. I want parting thoughts from all of you. Veena, go ahead.
ಇವತ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಸೊಸೈಟಿಲಿ ಬಾಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ವಿಷಯ ಬರುವಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ನಾವು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಯಿಂದ ಯಾವತ್ತು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ ಸೊಸೈಟಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಭಾರವಾಗಿ ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇರಕ್ಕೆ ಮನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ದುಡಿಯೋಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬೀದಿಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದೇ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಒಳಗಿದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಇನ್ಮೇಲೆ. ನನಗೆ ಕಾನೂನು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ನೀವು ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ.
Sonu.
So yeah, we were talking about what will be the social impact of this change. So I just want to share my story, what personally I experienced. Before I came for this interview, I told my family that I was going for this and they all wished me luck. And when this news came out, my family congratulated me. Then I work for an organization of 500 people. So the WhatsApp group of that colleagues, they congratulated me. They shared a screenshot of this news that is playing. And
fantastic.
I mean, I don't have to be afraid of that because now, I mean, I know I can be myself.
I'm glad to hear that. Dr. Muralidhar, a quick point from you too.
See, it is the law of the nature that you have to fight for what you get, and they have fought and they have got it.
Wonderful.
But now I have to consult my master in some case. If they come for any suggestion for us, to us, what has to be done. So I have to immediately rush to my master and ask if somebody comes and needs any suggestion for this.
Yes.
So, see, from religion point of view, it should not be mixed with secular court's judgment. Religion will go on. Secularists, what they want, they have got it. But religion is totally different.
Point taken. Manas.
I think the lawyers and the judges have done their part. I think it's the society's bit to now act their part, make India society a more tolerant, more happier, more nurturing place for everyone, so that we as a whole progress.
Absolutely. And Umar.
This judgment under the purview of democratic system is a contradiction and a clash with the divine law, that is the Quran.
Yes.
And I have to make a very clear distinction between what is acceptable in India and what is acceptable by God Almighty.
Yes.
To me, God Almighty has given freedom for man to do anything in this world, but on every act, it is going to be a good deed or it's going to be an evil deed. And for every act, he's going to be accountable for that.
Absolutely. Points well taken. And I must thank all of you. We've had a very sporting discussion. And, all said and done, amidst all the raised voices and all that, we've come to a consensus that this is a time of celebration of respect. There are responsibilities, of course, but that is for every single citizen that resides in India. So let's be cognizant of that as well. But that said, a time for celebration, a time for India to celebrate the upholding of basic human rights. We thank you for watching this special broadcast from News9, and we will be coming back with more updates as and when things have been happening throughout the country, through the day as well. Up next is a News9 special.
For life. Introducing Kamdhenu Next Double Ribs Interlock Steel, जो दे 2.5 गुना ज़्यादा bond strength. Kamdhenu Next Next Generation Interlock Steel. Let's do this.
Smooth as a shark, silent as a shark. Marazzo.
Welcome to this News9 special with me, Nabila. Superstar Rajnikant is a phenomenon in Japan. His film Muthu had been one of the highest grossing Indian films ever, over 21 years now. But it seems like the same film has a proper challenge and an opposition in Japan. Another Indian film is making it big and breaking the record. Here's more.
ஆண்டவா எல்லாரும் எப்போ மன நிம்மதியோட எந்த தொந்தரவும் இல்லாம சந்தோஷமா இருக்கணும்.
Most Indian blockbusters get a wide release in Japan, and Rajnikant's Muthu, that released 21 years ago, is still the highest grosser there. The film garnered immense popularity, and craze for Indian superstar Rajnikant in Japan is unmatched.
ஒருவன் ஒருவன் முதலாளி உலகில் மற்றவன் தொழிலாளி விதியை நினைப்பவன் ஏமாளி அதை வென்று முடிப்பவன் அறிவாளி ஒருவன் ஒருவன் முதலாளி உலகில் மற்றவன் தொழிலாளி விதியை நினைப்பவன் ஏமாளி அதை வென்று முடிப்பவன் அறிவாளி பூமியை வெல்ல ஆயுதம் எதற்கு பூப்பறிக்க கோடரி எதற்கு பொன்னோ பொருளோ பொற்களம் எதற்கு ஆசை துறந்தால் அகிலம் உனக்கு ஒருவன் ஒருவன் முதலாளி உலகில் மற்றவன் தொழிலாளி விதியை நினைப்பவன் ஏமாளி அதை வென்று முடிப்பவன் அறிவாளி.
The 1995 film directed by K.S. Ravikumar had Rajnikant, Meena and Sarath Babu in the lead. Though the film was a remake of Malayalam film Tenmavin Kombat starring Mohanlal, it created magic at the Tamil box office.
തനിച്ചു നിന്നെ ഞാൻ നിനച്ചിരിപ്പുണ്ടേ തുടിച്ചു തുള്ളും മനസ്സിനുള്ളിൽ തനിച്ചു നിന്നെ ഞാൻ നിനച്ചിരിപ്പുണ്ടേ കറുത്ത പെണ്ണേ നിന്നെ കാണാഞ്ഞിട്ടൊരു നാളുണ്ടേ വരുത്തപ്പെട്ടേൻ ഞാനൊരു വണ്ടായി ചമഞ്ഞേനടി.
The film became one of the highest grossing Tamil films at that time, running for over 175 days in theatres across Tamil Nadu. Released 21 years ago, Muthu still happens to be the highest grosser in Japan with a collection of $1.6 million. Rajkumar Hirani's Three Idiots was one of the biggest films in India the year it was released. Not just in India, but it did great in Japan too. The film went close to Muthu's record by collecting $1.4 million, but failed to beat the record.
जब life हो out of control, होठों को करके गोल, होठों को करके गोल, सीटे बजा के बोल. जब life हो out of control, होठों को करके गोल, होठों को करके गोल, सीटे बजा के बोल.
Recently, the SS Rajmouli directorial Bahubali was also released in Japan. It had collected 1.2 million with its 10-week run at the box office, taking the second spot in South Indian films. Despite being one of the biggest grosses in India, Bahubali did not manage to beat Muthu's record.
నేనెప్పుడు చూడని కళ్ళు నన్ను దేవుళ్ళ చూస్తున్నాయి.
మా దేవుడు అమరేంద్ర బాహుబలి రక్తాని వినువు.
జై మహేశ్వరి.
Now, a Telugu film is set to break the 21-year-old record of Muthu. Ram Charan Teja starer Magadhira is gearing up to beat Rajnikant's Muthu. The film opened to packed houses in Japan last week. The collections are expected to go up even further in the coming weeks.